Everybody knows what Natori is, I think, and does, but this is a new conversation you and I get to have about how it changes. So you saw all of this happen, and it's like, so you guys explain exactly how your company works. Where are the clothes made, and then how is the shipping? What are the supply chains? How does it all work?
Sure. For the products and the categories that we do in-house, our sleepwear, our clothing, our loungewear, we do the vast majority, 70% about, at our own family-owned factory in the Philippines. Josie born and raised there. The company's always had a base there. So we actually thought we almost would be completely insulated, and that, there was thought, obviously, that the tariffs would go big on China, but the fashion industry in general thought that as people moved out of China into places like Vietnam, Cambodia, and even the Philippines, there would be some protection from whatever Trump came out with.
But now the Philippines is what, 17?
17, so we're still much better.
Was there anything before?
No.
So it was zero?
No. Yeah, we thought there was a chance there was going to be zero, and then obviously last Wednesday, everything changed. So still much better off than China, and still, the bigger surprises were what happened in Vietnam and Cambodia. I think those were the ones that really, took the apparel industry by storm the most. But in general, there's just kind of like a little bit of a paralysis right now, because every CEO in the apparel industry has, since 2016, Trump's first term, really tried to diversify their supply chain, find factories not in China, but elsewhere in Vietnam and Cambodia. People thought they were prepared for what was going to happen, and obviously what we've seen in the markets last week, that hasn't been the case.
So that's really interesting, because it brings up the point that everyone keeps saying, well, you should have known this was coming. Trump said there would be tariffs, but the surprise was in the execution.
Yeah, it was certainly the depth of the tariffs, but then also just the breadth. The message that many people had gotten is like, hey, as long as you get out of China and you can diversify into different countries, you should be okay, or at least relatively okay. And really, last week kind of took everyone by storm. And I think what's challenging now is, the last existential threat to the industry was obviously COVID.
Yes.
But during COVID, it was very clear what we were supposed to do. I can remember week by week, from March into April into May of 2020, it was like, find PPP money. It was like, come up with a cash flow plan to conserve cash as long as possible, turn off your marketing. Like, it was very clear what you were supposed to do. And now people are in such shock. It's like, well, what are we supposed to do? And a lot of people are like, we're just going to wait till the end of the week and hope it kind of goes away or changes. And there's just, in the C-suites across a lot of apparel companies, a lot of department stores, there's just a lot of question and waiting, and still not really a clear game plan in terms of how to operate.
Right, because you don't know. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's going to go away. It might pause, right? Like we were talking about the Ackman plan, so to speak, of 90 days. I don't know. Maybe Trump does that. Maybe he doesn't. But in the meantime, you guys are dealing, if there is no pause, hypothetically, with 17% higher costs, right? So then what? You pass those on to your people buying the clothes? Or?
Yeah, so I think what's interesting is, one of two things are going to happen, right? One is companies are going to absorb those costs, and, obviously smaller profit margins, less ability to expand the company and invest.
And that hurts the people that work at your company.
Exactly.
That's what we were talking about earlier. And that's the real story.
Exactly, and hurts our ability to grow. The other is you pass on those costs to the customers. Unit demand's going to go down, inflation's going to go up. So no matter what, it's unclear, but neither of those situations are good. I think what's interesting from a consumer perspective is, different companies, different department stores have different abilities to absorb these costs themselves. So if everything goes as planned now, you may see down the road a little more variance in terms of the degree to which brands and retailers absorb those costs.
Give me an example.
Or pass them on. So for example, if you've got, a direct-to-consumer company that by nature has higher profit margins, they may be more able to eat those tariffs themselves. We have our own manufacturing. We have our own factory in the Philippines. We may be slightly more able to eat those.
So you wouldn't pass on all 17%?
Would not, yeah. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to pass on everything, right? It's going to be some balance between absorbing yourself and passing on. And keep in mind.
But which companies are not in as good a shape then?
Companies with lower profit margins, certainly, that don't maybe this is the other interesting element, is that smaller companies, scale is important today. And so it is, especially with all these existential threats to the business, being a smaller independent company, it's just harder. Having scale helps you absorb these things. It helps you with your negotiations with stores. It helps with negotiations with your supply chain. And so, bigger companies might have a better ability to eat some of these costs themselves too. But I do think, to the degree that there's a little bit more of a price band for certain products, we could see if nothing changes a year down the road, there might be a little bit more variability in terms of how much different brands and department stores pass on those costs to the consumers.
Can you speak to him? Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.